Hi, and I'm Przemek. Welcome to my second episode of guitar lesson. Yes, commenting and giving some my thoughts on um, Eric Johnson mini lessons. So I've done the first one, which covered the first three lessons, and now I'm gonna move on to another episode. And now I'll try to keep it short, even though it's not easy. We want to talk and talk, and the time is running. So yes, just to mention the idea behind these lessons of Eric's was to also donate to a food bank. So he was given a link there. So I checked that link. It still works. I donated a little bit, so it still works. It's still live, even though it was 3 years ago. So if you can, please donate couple of, I don't know, couple of, as he used to say, bucks. So I've donated some not huge amount, but still it says it goes straight. Some most of it will go straight to the to the people that need food. So it's good. Okay, so just going straight to the fourth episode, it's about picking. So he'd be uh, encouraging to try, or if you maybe if some of you do that, but I haven't, to try this picking technique that's basically keeping this motion of picking. So you want to be aiming at picking that way rather than keeping keeping your hand in this way and picking only this. You want to kind of aim and intend for this movement too, which is gonna give your notes special sound, better sound actually. If you play a pentatonic and try to aim for that. Aim for that motion, as he calls it, uh, brushing out, or like pointing up and out. I mean, you don't have to. I guess it's not about doing it too much. It's just to have this intent, because then you just hitting the string uh, quicker. I guess so. It's like a quick articulation. It's not a lazy one that you would. So the actual picking hits the string and then goes away, letting it vibrate and open up as well. So that's the main idea. And then he also mentions that you don't really have to hold your pick strong. You can hold it pretty loose, and then in this way your hand is relaxed. And yes, the risk might be you will lose a pick. It's on your floor, but then, well, just it's it's something it's worth trying. So I thought just to give you a little tip. It's interesting how it works to experience that. If it's difficult for, it might be difficult to have that. So actually to experience that, I thought of this little exercise. You, for instance, fret your uh, fifth interval, for instance. So your index finger on the fifth fret the D string, for instance, and your ring finger on the 7th fret on the G string. So you got this 5th here, and then try pick your G string downstroke and your D string upstroke, and then if you do that, the you know the physics of that motion of picking, being inside, in between strings and picking down and up, down and up, down and up on your neighboring strings. It gives you no choice. Your hand is kind of forced to do that motion. It can't stay like that. It just needs to go. So I guess it's a good way of experiencing that for start, and then another thing, I guess. So you can just have a simple exercise of moving your 5th, going back, and using only this picking pattern. And then I can feel my hand is doing this brushing out. And also, what might be helpful, some single picks per string lines, if that makes sense. So for instance, if you were to pick your chord, for instance, you've got your bar chord, A major bar chord, and you don't wanna have it all, but you just wanna have it maybe bass strings and a G string. And if you are to alternate these single one pick per string, you're more likely to do this motion, outside motion, rather than if you were maybe to play a scale, because I mean playing more notes per one string and picking more may give you the temptation of actually doing less motion here while you're singing, and some string picking would be good too, because it will also so if you were to pick your octaves like that, I can, maybe you can't see from, but I can see my hand is traveling more like that. So it's a good way, and then it makes your sound good, which you can double check with Eric's episode. So another 5th episode of Eric's is about pentatonics. So he would be saying you can use same pentatonic shape in different keys to improvise within one key, if you can do it in a musical way, of course, which you will be able to if you focus, and I do some focus on that, and I think it's possible. It's so say you got E minor, so he'd say you can get your E minor pentatonic, the basic shape which you have here. You can have it here as well, in the 0 position using open strings, and then he says you can, while you improvise, you can use other shapes. I mean the same shape but different keys. So he says you try F sharp, try G sharp, then B, then C sharp, and then go back to E. So that's what you can do, because you could play, mix these shapes. So the idea is to uh, link them in a way that it sounds good. I mean, by changing your position, you would change the relation of the. So if you go into F sharp shape, the notes that you're playing is gonna be in a different relation to your E minor key. So if you start with F sharp, this is gonna be a major second of your E. I don't want to take it to a complicated naming the relations, but it's to experiment and to try different sounds, because you got your E, which is a root of your minor pentatonic, and for instance G sharp pentatonic shape would start with G sharp, which would be a major third of your E. So it would be a bit of a off sounding, but if you make it passing note or connect, it has potential to work. So the F sharp would be good because it's like a minor moved major second. It gives you this ninth major second tone. Then the G sharp might sound a bit off. B is pretty good because mostly notes are pretty much the same because it's a fifth away. And C sharp would be another giving you more of a major sound within your E minor, but still easy to make it sound good. So yes, try play these different combinations. He would be using interesting term, hinging. I think I may just cover two episodes this time because it's just long. But he'd be using, so I use another minute or two for explaining this hinge. So he would say you look for ways to hinge together your positions. So it's actually it's actually a good time to say. You need to find a way to move around somehow with your, so it more, quite often that would be sort of silently, or not silently, slide into another position with your index or with your ring finger. But it could be anything else. It could be having a motif played like a group of notes and just moved to another position. Or it could be important stuff. It could be also your, so you can, well, he also mentions about that, which is important. You not only use your first pentatonic position, but you can do it with this, with all the, as they call, superpositions of pentatonic. So you take a second position of your E minor, which is gonna be a G major pentatonic, and you can start from here and do all the lines from there. However, that might give you, at least for me, it's like doing this the same thing, but a little bit different. So I'd be starting with just this normal position, and then maybe starting from them, from there, develop to another position, but be in conjunction with this uh, prime position, and maybe try to change the fingering a little bit. But kind of don't, not to not to change it dramatically, because then it just gives you another sound. And yes, so hinging, that's a good one. So looking for ways to hinge. And also using these techniques he's explained in previous episodes, vibratos and different stuff. So I think that's pretty long for now. So I only managed to do 2 episodes, but they're quite crucial, I guess, in terms of picking. So trying to be brushing out, and then try and experiment with combining pentatonics of different keys within one key, really. So if it's E, I just quickly repeat that. If it's E minor, you can go to F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, and back to E, and then try to make it musical using the same basic shape. Okay, thanks a lot. I hope it's not too confusing. I'm just hoping it's helpful. And yes, I'll be carrying on with some more. So thanks for now. Thanks for watching, and see you later in next episode. Bye bye. Cheers.